Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to episode 126 of the Take One podcast. I am your host, August C. Jones, and today we're going to talk about some stuff that came out some almost a week back because I've been so busy and swamped with other things in my life that I wasn't able to get to do this sooner, like this weekend, Monday, Tuesday, and I just figured I got some time. Let me go ahead and knock this out. So we're going to be talking about basically a lot of stuff Disney, from Disney Plus streaming and all the news that came out about that, to the new Star Wars trailer that dropped, where we got the new trailer, like I just said, then we got the title, then we got a new Lion King trailer that dropped last week, as well as a new trailer of a movie entitled Anna, which I'm going to get into that because I really do want to talk about that. And then we're going to get into the box office like we always do. And that will be it for this episode. I wanted to squeeze in some movie reviews, but I don't think I'll have enough time for that. But I'm going to try and get to them later on this week. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into everything. So first off, I wanted to talk about the new Star Wars trailer. So, yeah. So it was kind of like, I guess you could say Disney is running like kind of parallel movies. We have two movies that's coming out this year under the Disney umbrella that are the last of a saga. You know, I mean, the movies are still going to carry on after this saga, but this is the last to wrap up everything before that, from Avengers with Infinity War and, you know, all the way to Endgame and all that stuff. We got that wrapping up with Endgame. And then everything going beyond that. And then now we got Star Wars going on beyond that. But it's wrapping up the Skywalker saga on episode 9. So, yeah, Disney is doing their thing. And, yeah, and just like Endgame, we had to wait to find out what the title of the movie was. And so we got the title, which is called The Rise of Skywalker. Now, what that title entails, we don't know. But before we get into theories or whatever, I don't even know if I'm going to get into theories. I just want to talk about the trailer. But as far as the trailer, I really liked it. I really did. It's a teaser. That's exactly what it is. It is a teaser. And I know a lot of people might get confused, but I look at it like this. Certain movies, if they don't give out major plot points, if they don't give out anything, if it's just random shots of just this person doing that person doing that, this person looking up, that person jumping down with a sword, these people fighting, and then these people walking into a room, if you just show stuff like that and just maybe have like some quick lines and stuff like that, lines of dialogue, then it's a teaser. This is basically a teaser. You start off with Luke Skywalker talking. Basically, you know, it sounds like he's talking to Rey, saying that basically everything kind of lies within her. I forget the lines of dialogue, but he basically is like he's kind of talking to her, like certain many years of like Jedi is within you and blah blah blah, making it seem like she's the last hope and everything else. And while this lines of dialogue is like going on, you see Rey in the desert and she's looking like she's waiting for something. She's out of breath and everything else. She opens up her lightsaber and she sees a vehicle, you know, I don't even know what you would call it, an aircraft coming toward her. And she starts running, and then eventually she jumps back and starts flipping, and that's when the trailer gets rolling. And it looks good. It looks really, really good. You can tell that they went off the chain with the visuals, and that's one thing that I do like about what Disney does. They go all out for their visuals. Not in every single movie. I know a lot of people looking like, what about Captain Marvel? And, you know, Black Panther has some of them. You know, you could probably pull out like a lot of movies within the past 2 years that had like kind of bad CG or not as good CG, but you know, when it comes down to it, they can pull out the stops. I mean, Infinity War, look at the Lion King trailer, look at Jungle Book, you know, you can pull out movies like that, Pixar and everything else, but it looks crazy. And then you have Billy D right back as Lando. Not only is he back as Lando, but he is like driving, I guess you could say flying the Millennium Falcon. So he looks like he's enjoying it. Like the character, just looking at like just the character Lando looking like, I got my ship back. I'm in my ship. I haven't been in this ship ever since Han won it from me. And this is, you know, he's gonna push it to the limit. And I know I've heard somebody say this probably might, in this movie, we probably might see the death of the Millennium Falcon. which probably may end up being true, but hopefully it will be the noblest ending in history, or the noblest death in history, in Infinity War, whatever. But I like that scene. Then you got shots of Leia, which JJ and everybody else that came out and said that those are shots that were previously shot of her from the previous films, so they just kind of interweaved it into this film and everything else. I'm curious to see how everything plans out with her character, because in order to, use previously shot images, they had to have shot a lot of images, a lot of stuff with her. So I'm curious to see how they fit it into the movie and everything else, and how her character comes to an end, whether they're going to keep her alive or they're going to write off her character in a death or whatever, which I don't know. And then at the end of the trailer, you see the part of the Death Star on the planet, so it got kind of people thinking what is that? What possibly could that be? As far as what not what could it be, but what can it mean? And then right when Luke at the end of the trailer, around that part, his lines of dialogue, and I picked it up. He says, "Nothing ever truly dies." And then after that, you hear some laughing. I didn't know what that was at first. At first, I thought it was Luke Skywalker. I thought it was Mark Hamill or whatever. But then after looking at other people's analyzations of the trailer, I'm like, they said it was Palpatine. I'm like, you're right. That do sound like Palpatine, if I'm saying it wrong. And I'm just like, so what does that mean? Does that mean that he's in the movie? And if so, he died. Or did he? If you didn't see the body, if you didn't see him actually die, they don't really die. So, I mean, it kind of got the juices flowing in the brain, but what does it mean? What does everything mean? I don't know. But as far as this trailer, it looks good. It looks amazing. I cannot wait to see this movie. I want to see more of the trailer. I'm not excited for this movie like I am Marvel movies, because I'm just not a huge Star Wars fan. But hey, I mean, this is a movie that I'm definitely going to check out, because the past couple movies, the saga movies or whatever, the episode movies, I've seen with my brother. And matter of fact, we've seen episode 7 together, episode 8, and then we're gonna more than likely see this movie together. So so hopefully it comes to a concluding end and it's real good and it's wrapped up nicely, and then we can go on into the future and beyond. But I really did like this trailer. So moving on, we're gonna jump into the Lion King trailer 2. So there's really nothing too much to say about this. This movie looks incredible. It looks incredible from the visuals. I love it when I can show it to somebody that don't know that it's all completely CG, and they can look at it and be like, I can just tell them man, this is all computer animated. This is all computer graphics and everything. And they're like, really? They look so real. Yeah, that's where Disney is at. They are setting a new wave as far as realism when it comes to these movies. With facial, with humans and stuff, not too much, but they're improving it. But yeah, with the Lion King trailer and everything else, how the animals look, the landscapes and everything looks gorgeous, looks visually stunning. Guaranteed, and mark my words, this movie is going to be nominated for Best Visual Effects, and it will win. Mark my words. But yeah, this trailer was good. It showed a lot of the iconic scenes that we know of the original movie, from Timon and Pumbaa and Simba walking across the bridge, and as they walking across the little log bridge or whatever, time is the time is changing and all that stuff. You see Scar, which I'm really not a big fan of. I'm having trouble pronouncing his name, but Chiwetel Ejiofor. I'm going to just say it like that. Chiwetel Ejiofor. Not a big fan of how he sounds. To me, he kind of sounds similar to how I kind of felt about, Jafar. I was about to say Giraffe. Jafar's voice in the Aladdin trailer. It's not really intimidating, but I will give Chiwetel Ejiofor the upper hand on this. I will give him a chance more than Jafar. Because he can have a a menacing voice. He don't have to go too cartoonish or anything, but he can pull that out. Now, we've only heard some calm, words of dialogue from him, but when more than likely in the next trailer or trailers after that, and then we actually see the movie and we actually get to see him use his intensity for the role or whatever he's like saying, whatever lines he's delivering, it's probably going to come across more menacing, more evil, more villainous like. And so I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna wait to see if it changes my mind. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna just go back and I'm gonna like, yeah, I gave it the chance. It just didn't fall through all the way. But I mean, I like the way he looks. You got the hyenas and everything else, and yeah, you got Nala up in there. Of course, you got James Earl Jones doing a little bit of dialogue from Mufasa to Simba, and then you got Iago. Was that Iago? No, that's Aladdin. God, Zazu. Yeah, then you got Zazu, and just it's so familiar. It's so familiar. And then you got some of the music playing, and it's a nice trailer. It's a really, really nice trailer. And then when you get all the way to the end, what do you have? You have Timon and Pumbaa doing a wing, doing what song they doing? No, it was Hakuna Matata. Was it? I don't know. Anyway, but you got Timon and Pumbaa at the end, which sounds crazy. And just even back when we heard that, what was his name? Seth Rogen was going to do the role of Pumbaa. That is a perfect match. Perfect. And I'm pretty sure he's going to crush it. Now, we have yet to hear Donald Glover as Simba, but I have a feeling that he's going to knock it out the park. I have a feeling that he's going to do good in the role. And we have yet to hear Beyonce as Nala. So, it's still a lot for us to get from this movie as far as trailers and stuff, but I mean, so far, I like the trailer. I really did. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's the second trailer for Lion King. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the third and final trailer. So this movie, I checked it out. Well, the trailer, I checked it out. This is movie Anna. Didn't know what it was all about or anything, but I just decided to, look it up or whatever. Didn't hear anything before. Didn't listen to podcasts, them talking about how good it is or anything. But I just decided to watch it. Just to watch a new trailer to see if it's something I like, if it's something I want to talk about on the podcast. And boy, oh boy, did this trailer to this movie really knock my socks off. This trailer looked awesome. Now, one thing I can say is that John Wick, with it being as compared to like a James Bond or Jason Bourne or a Mission Impossible, it's not at that level as far as popularity. Like, I don't think John Wick is gonna pull in Mission Impossible numbers. It's not gonna pull in James Bond numbers. It's not gonna pull in those type of numbers. Like, relatively to them, I look at it, it's like John Wick is still kind of a small character, as compared to those like just characters in just movies. Because there's still a lot of people that probably haven't seen the John Wick movies. But there's really no denying the influence that this movie is taking upon the cinematic world. Ever since John Wick come out, you probably could go through movies in your head and come up with at least 5 movies that remind you of a John Wick-esque type movie. Which one of them can come to mind is Atomic Blonde. And this Anna movie, you can tell that they took from John Wick, because it reminds me of John Wick. It's like if you basically combined Atomic Blonde and John Wick within a female, this is what it would be. Because that whole dining room scene where she's just kicking ass, taking the plates, slitting throats, shooting, and just flipping over dudes, and just murdering dudes. It looks so nuts. And there's one thing that my father said, because I showed him, because he likes them type of movies. Somebody do something real decent as far as a move in the trailer or in the movie, he woo, he reacts to it. And he said one thing that was troublesome, that he hopes that he hopes that that's not the only scene like that in the movie, and it had me thinking, what if it is? What if all the other scenes, like, there's probably other fight scenes in the movie, and what if, like, they are just regular fight scenes, but they're nothing on that level, and that's maybe just like one fight scene toward within the first act, and then the rest of it is just kind of like, mundane and stuff. So I don't know. Like, I hope that movie isn't like that, where that what they showed in the trailer is what it is. But hopefully we have different fight scenes throughout the whole movie that looks just like that, or just crazy, just crazier. But yeah, this movie it's on my radar. Especially just how it ended with the music playing, where she's saying, "What is your name?" And then she looks up, and then the music starts playing, and then you get the title sequence coming in. I'm like, oh, this looks so amazing. This is definitely on my list. This is a movie that I am going to go see the hell out of. Hopefully it's good, but it looks crazy good. Crazy, crazy good. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Check it out. It's called Anna. And so with that said, let's jump out of trailer reviews and jump right into movie news. Now, so we only got one thing to talk about in movie news, which is basically the Disney Plus streaming service. So it was released this past weekend, or this past week or whatever. And yeah, it looks crazy. It looks crazy. So this is going to be a streaming service that I'm definitely going to get. So not only did we get the, presentation of it, what it, we can see what it was going to look like, what all it entails, but we also got the price. So going through it, it's going to be available to everybody to order, subscribe to or whatever. November 12th, 2019, which is this year. And then the price is very low. And I suspect that this price is just going to be like the introductory price. As far as like maybe like a year and a half from now, it's going to probably go up. Probably like $7, $8, maybe 10 or whatever. But this is just to start off. Just to get people in the door, basically. So it's going to start off at $6.99 a month. Or you can pay for a year subscription, which is $69.99. I'm still deciding. I'm probably going to get the year subscription because they're going to have a lot of stuff, especially with the acquisition of 20th Century Fox. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff that they're going to put up in there. And they basically was talking about some of the stuff that is going to be available right, at launch. And then some of them are going to be added on throughout the weeks and months and, within the year of, it being launched. Like certain stuff is going to be added. So they're not just giving us everything at one time. But I mean, you gotta think, like, this is a lot to take in because not only are you getting stuff from Disney, but you're getting everything. You're getting stuff from the Disney Channel. You're getting all their old movies. You're getting new movies. You're getting old shows, new shows. And I mean, like, I don't mean just like new shows. I mean like shows that are like literally created just for the streaming platform service. And then you're going to get the Fox IPs that they acquired. You're going to get them. You're going to get a lot of stuff. It's going to be a lot of variety. Like, I can, like, put it like this. I think a lot of people probably would have maybe second guessed it if it was like, just Disney and they didn't acquire Fox and all that stuff. Because, it like, people still was going to get it, but it wasn't going to be a thing. But ever since they got the Fox IP, it's like, now they have a big array. And with that, Fox has a lot of R-rated property that they're more than likely going to put on there. And they did say that they're going to have parental control. So you're going to have the same thing as Netflix where you can set the parental control. You can have different accounts and profiles or whatever for it. So it's going to be just simply kind of like similar to Netflix. They're going to have streaming offline or whatever so that you can download it. That way you ain't got to be near a Wi-Fi or have like, a hotspot in order to watch your favorite shows or movies. And like I said, they're going to have the animated films, everything from just their classics to the whole entire Pixar library, as well as the shorts that Pixar has put out. And then the Mandalorian, that show is going to premiere at launch. So yeah, and then you're gonna have the other Star Wars. And yeah, the Mandalorian is a Star Wars show, and then they're gonna have another Star Wars show starring Cassian Andor, which is the character from off of Rogue One. The I guess you could say the main male character in the movie. And then they're gonna have a What If series, like a Marvel animated film, like basically What If this happened, blah blah blah. Kind of like an Elseworlds type of show, like how they kind of have it in the comic books is going to be like that. And I think the first episode is going to be what if Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers. So they're going to have like shows like that, but it's all going to be animated and everything else. None of that's going to be live action. As well as they're going to have a Lady and the Tramp series, a Monsters Inc. series, and a High School Musical series. And they're going to have content from National Geographic with a new show called The World According to Jeff Goldblum. And I love that. Not because I love Jeff Goldblum, but because my mom, she passed away 2002. But she was just in love with Jeff Goldblum. So I can only imagine how she would have reacted, just hearing about this. I can imagine me just going to her and being like, oh, Mom, when Disney streaming service come on, they're going to have a Jeff Goldblum show called The World According to Jeff Goldblum and stuff. So I can just imagine that's just the one thing that went through my mind. But yeah, they got shows like that. Like I said, they're going to have the Disney Channel original shows as well as the original movies. They're going to have The Simpsons on there. They're going to have The Simpsons on there. And it's a lot of stuff that they're going to have on there as far as the streaming service. And if you would be stupid not to try to get this, you would be like, I ain't even gonna say stupid, but this gonna put them at direct competition with Netflix. If you're wondering why, if you're not in tune to all this stuff and you're wondering why Jessica Jones and Daredevil and Punisher and Luke Cage and all them shows got like canceled, this is why. This is exactly why. You have a streaming service that you you had like a company that you did do business with the Marvel shows, but now they got their own streaming service. It's like, so we're going to help you? No, we're going to help ourselves. So they're going to be in direct competition with them. I don't know if it's going to be in direct competition with Hulu, maybe, but because, I not only say that because Disney do own a lot of shares. I think maybe the majority shares, I have to look it up, but they own a lot of shares in Hulu. So, I guess that wouldn't really be competition. That would be kind of joint efforts. I don't know. Because I know a lot of the Disney streaming stuff isn't going to be on Hulu unless it's already on there and, they're going to keep it there. But I don't really count Hulu. But as far as Amazon Prime and Netflix, definitely they're going to be competition. I bet you Netflix is over here struggling like, yo, we need to put out some kick-ass shows. And more than likely, I wouldn't be surprised if they did basically a thing with tried to do something with DC or another comic book thing, because DC already got their own streaming service. So they're going to try and do something. So I don't know, but this looks promising. It looks promising. It looks really good. I am definitely going to go get it. I'm definitely going to go order it when it comes out. It's only $6.99 a month, but I probably might end up doing the year plan just so I don't have to worry about it. But I don't know, but I'm definitely going to get it because it looks crazy good. And they even show pictures of it and how it's going to look going through it and stuff. Yeah, it looks dope. It really does. Can't wait for that to come out. And so with that said, let's get out of movie news and jump right into the box office segment. And so basically I'm going to run through this. If you don't know how the box office segment work on the Take One podcast, this is simply how it works. So I give what my predictions were last week over this past weekend. And then I go over what actually won the weekend and kind of compare to see if I kind of guessed it or whatever correctly or whatnot. Then I'm going to talk about what movies are coming out this weekend. And then I'm going to get into predictions this weekend of what movies I feel are going to win the weekend. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into things. So my predictions for last week was that Shazam was going to be at number 1, Hellboy number 2, Missing Link at number 3, Pet Sematary at number 4, and Dumbo at number 5, which, looking at it, majority of the, no, okay. I just had a quick thought. But anyway, that was my order. Little did I know that I would be wrong, but not by much. Not by much, because Shazam did come in at number 1 with 25.1 million over the weekend. Number 2, Little, a movie that I didn't think that was going to make the top 5, came in at number 2 with 15.4 million. Hellboy came in over the weekend with at number 3 with 12 million. Pet Sematary took the number 4 spot with 10 million, and Dumbo took the number 5 spot, rounding everything off with 9.1 million. Missing Link, a movie that I thought was really good, that I thought was going to be up in the top 5 because it's a kids movie and everything else, and it did look appealing. It came in at number 9. Surprisingly to me, with 5.8 million. Like, man. But what stands out, actually, what I just pointed out, like, I thought Hellboy, even though it was getting bad reception, I thought that it was going to at least do well, but it didn't. It came in with 12 million. Oh my gosh. Came in with 12 million. I didn't think it was going to take the number 1 spot, but I even gave it some leeway to take the number 2 spot, but it couldn't even do that. But but yeah, and one thing that basically 2 movies that I had kind of crisscrossed or like mixed up, because I thought Little wasn't gonna be up in the top 5, and I thought Missing Link was, and it was the total opposite. So that was surprising to me, because even though it does look appealing, I didn't think that a lot of people was on it. I didn't hear a lot of people talking about like they were gonna go see this, but then again, I didn't hear a lot of people talking about they were gonna see Missing Link. But when it comes to like a kids movie, that's a kids movie, and I don't know, like I'm that's what's really surprising to me. That's really what's surprising to me. Everything else, I believe I got correct. Yeah, because Pet Sematary came in at number 4, and then Dumbo rounded off the top 5. So, but those are the things that really stood out to me. So, I mean, I don't know. Let's see how I do this weekend. I was off by, a little bit, but, I was not too far off. But coming this week, we have 2 movies. The first one being Breakthrough, which actually is releasing today. And it's a faith-based movie about a kid who ends up falling through the ice in I believe it's the winter of Missouri or whatever. And so they pull him out the ice after being there for 15 minutes. And when he comes out, the doctors say that he has no hope until the mother has, she prays, and then something happens to where the boy is still alive. And so they're just trying to keep hope that this kid survives. And it's just one of those uplifting, inspiring type movies. So if you're into that, that'll be probably a movie that you'll be wanting to go see. Like I said, it comes out today. And then we have a movie that I'm definitely going to go see, which is The Curse of La Llorona. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I have this Puerto Rican guy that I work with, and he says it right, of course, because I can't speak the way, I can't speak Spanish like that. So, yeah, I just say it the best way I can, The Curse of La Llorona. So, I guess I'm saying it right. I mean, it's just the little things that matter, the little things and how you pronounce it. But that's coming out, which is about a social worker who heeds the warning of a woman who tries to warn her about the curse of La Llorona. And so her kids end up hearing the crying of La Llorona, and so now she is stuck in trying to protect her children from this ghost entity. Well, I guess that would be the same. No, like a ghost, a demonic entity, or whatever. And it looks crazy. It reminds me of The Conjuring, so I'm definitely gonna see it. I don't know if it's gonna be as good as The Conjuring, but we'll see. And so, what I think will win the weekend, one of my predictions. So, here is it go as follow. So, I think that The Curse of La Llorona will come in at number 1. Breakthrough will come in at number 2, because I've heard a lot of people wanting to go see that. And it might be a sleeper. Shazam is going to come in at number 3. Little, number 4. And rounding out the top 5 is going to be Pet Sematary. So, yeah, those are my top 5. So let's get out of box office and round off this podcast with everything new to rent, own, or stream. And so we have 4 movies that are basically in that category. And the first movie is Glass, which is the culmination of Split and Unbreakable by M. Night Shyamalan. Check it out. Dragon Ball Super Broly. Definitely check it out. If you're a big Dragon Ball Super fan, Dragon Ball Z, whatever you want to call it, you definitely would love this movie. The Kid Who Would Be King, a movie that was surprising to me. Didn't expect anything from it. Ended up really liking it. Thought it was really good. And then the other movie, Replicas, which I didn't think it was too good, but I didn't think it was too bad. But if you are a person that likes sci-fi movies, or if you like the type of B movies that Sci-Fi Channel puts out, you probably may end up liking replicas. It's not the best thing, but it's not the worst thing, at least in my opinion. But those are the movies coming out to rent on the stream. And that wraps up this podcast. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me. And I will be putting out another podcast, I believe, tomorrow, because I have a little bit more stuff to talk about. I wanted to keep this episode short. And yeah, until then, I will catch you guys next time. Peace out. Hey, before you guys leave, make sure you hit that like button as well as that subscribe button. And you see that little bell? Make sure you hit that to turn on your notifications. That way you'll be notified for anything that appears on my channel. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace out.